You've been loyal to Trump. You've sacrificed your relationships, your reputation, your peace of mind because you believed you were standing up for truth, for justice, for the children. You were told that Donald Trump was the one man willing to take on the sick elite, that he'd drain the swamp and expose the darkest secrets of those in power. You believed that because it felt right and you were right. It felt like finally someone was speaking your language. And for a while, he did. Until the moment the truth got too close to him. This is not an attack on MAGA supporters. This is an attack on the elites which should unite us. The working class average American who can't even get out of a speeding ticket, let alone a major sex trafficking ring. Let that sink in. The man you trusted to expose Epstein's network is now calling it a hoax. Why does he mock you, his base, for still caring about his very promise to you? He called you stupid Republicans for demanding answers. Does that sound like a man who's protecting children or a man protecting himself and his elite cabal? Because the moment those Epstein files hinted that Trump might be more involved than you were told, the entire MAGA machine fell silent. J.D. Vance flew out to squash the story. Charlie Kirk off promoting the next outrage cycle. Fox News back to Hillary Clinton's emails and Hunter's laptop. And now, when Democrats and Republicans band together to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell to testify under oath to finally get some answers, Trump orders Speaker Mike Johnson to end the congressional session 2 weeks early so Trump can send his personal lawyer to interview Maxwell before she testifies in public. Why would this happen if Trump and Mike Johnson claim transparency? What if Maxwell implicates Trump in any way? Do you think Trump will let Maxwell testify? Or maybe even bribe her with a pardon on his last day in office? You know his pattern by now. He wants to divide us, but we cannot let that happen on this issue. That's how Trump operates. He feeds you an identity, a mission, and an enemy. Trump and his admin isolate you from dissent. And then, when he fails to deliver on the Epstein files, he blames everyone but himself. Obama, the deep state, the media, Soros, Clinton. It's always someone else. Never you, Donald. Never the man who knew Epstein for 15 years. Never the guy with Mar-a-Lago, just a few miles from Epstein's estate, who young girls were recruited by Epstein's handler. Never the one who said on record Epstein likes 'em young. Epstein even went to Trump's wedding. Never the guy who's now begging you to stop asking questions. Are you going to follow his misdirection, or do you demand the truth even if it involves the man himself? You've probably felt it already. The unease when your gut tells you something doesn't add up. That creeping feeling when you see Trump flip on his own promises. That tension when influencers you once trusted suddenly go quiet on the issue they used to scream about. That's cognitive dissonance. And it's not weakness. It's your mind trying to wake up. And when it does, that's when you start to realize this was never about draining the swamp. It was about controlling the narrative, about using your passion, your loyalty, your morality as a shield to protect people who think they're above accountability. You weren't crazy for caring about Epstein. You were right, but now the cover-up is being run by the very man who promised to expose it. And that's why it hurts. That's why it feels like betrayal, because it is. But here's the good news. Once you start seeing it, you can't unsee it. The spell breaks, the blindfold falls, and you start asking questions not because you're disloyal, but because you're awake and a good and decent American. You don't need to burn the whole movement. Just stop handing your voice to the people who want you silent when it matters most. Trump isn't protecting children. He's protecting secrets and enigmas. He's not fighting for you or justice. He's fighting for control. And the longer you play along, the more power he keeps. So ask the questions Trump is terrified of. Demand answers he's obviously hiding. And remind the world that loyalty to truth must always come before loyalty to any person. It's time. The spell ends when you demand the truth and hold the rich and power to account. And that is, for better or worse, what Trump has been since he was born.
Before I leave you, I want you to sit with one final thought and really feel it. If Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Adam Schiff, or any other Democrat were acting the way Donald Trump is right now about the Epstein files, would you be giving them a pass? Be honest. If Biden mocked you for demanding justice, called you stupid for wanting the truth, said the whole Epstein thing was a hoax, would you still be silent? If Adam Schiff tried to bury a scandal involving child trafficking and elite exploitation because it made his side look bad, would you defend him? No. You'd be lighting up every forum, every timeline, every rally stage demanding accountability, and rightfully so. Now imagine this. A Democrat House Speaker suddenly cuts Congress short by 2 weeks. Not for budget reasons, not for emergencies, but just to buy time for a Democrat president to figure out what to do about Epstein. And during that exact window, a bill with rare bipartisan support, a bill MAGA and progressives both wanted, was about to pass that would have forced Ghislaine Maxwell to testify under oath. Would you be okay with that? Would Charlie Kirk and Kash Patel go quiet? Would Fox News downplay it and pivot to Hunter's laptop? Or would it be DEFCON 1 outrage with 20 headlines a day? Here's the cold truth. Trump is doing exactly what you've accused your enemies of doing. He's protecting power. He's shielding secrets. And his administration is running interference like a goddamn firewall. And still, many of the same people who taught you to never trust the elite are now telling you to move on. This isn't hypocrisy. It's betrayal. And the only reason it works is because you're letting it. If you wouldn't tolerate this behavior from your worst political enemies, then don't excuse it from the man you've been told to worship. Justice doesn't wear a red hat, and truth doesn't stop being truth just because your favorite politician is in the crosshairs. Wake up. Ask the questions they don't want you to. Be the voice they're trying to silence.